if you're wondering why this camera looks like this, because my ghetto tripod decided to tear its tape and it came descending down when nobody was here, but everything is still in one piece. So alhamdulillah for that. I gotta get up there and tighten this old, here we go. I am not fond of heights. Okay. Bismillah. Here we go. All right. So we've got this. Okay. Now if I loosen it, there you go. Now we got it. That is the correct. And then now to get down lower, watch your step. 2, 3. All right. Here we go. It seems pretty solid. Yeah, that's about it. That's about right. One thing that I want you to kind of share, and this would be of benefit to any future instructors that are coming in, and be candid as to what was the breakthrough for you in order to get your flow on the glassboard.
I would say 3 things. Number 1, per your good advice, understanding that you are, or envisioning that you are speaking to your student. You don't worry about the camera, you don't worry about the environment, you focus and you zero in on the fact that whatever you're teaching it to a student who's, standing or sitting in front of you, and you want to get the message across to them. The second thing is being as individual, as organic, as unique as possible. And sometimes, that comes as you go. It's not something that you can prepare for, no matter how much you prepare for it. And the third thing would be just, to keep renewing your intention. A lot of times today, there are times where I got frustrated, but, in the end of the day, we remember that we're doing this for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if it's truly for His sake and we try our best, then we will receive reward.
How much of that frustration was connected to me?
None. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. You kept my day bright. Alhamdulillah.
I had a whole lot of different tips to share.
Whole lot.
But I think his initial thing was like, yo, you got this thing down, you can simplify it, why aren't you presenting it? And I'm like, let the day progress and you'll see why. And he was like, yeah,
we should do bloopers, honestly. Like Bilal's suggestion bloopers.
All the things that would not fly, that are not, to be fair, it's just not on brand for Al-Maghrib.
But to be honest, use it on stage and people love it.
Of course. But it's one thing to be not on script. It's another thing to have popular cultural references that may or may not
be questionable.
It's like this. If you saw me and I started mentioning popular culture, you wouldn't bat an eye. But if we saw somebody that presents themselves as you, right, and they're using popular culture references, they're like, what is wrong with the sheikh?
Honestly, it's something I've always wanted to change. Like, of course, we want to make sure everything is appropriate in terms and the guidelines of Islam. But at the same time, like, we have to, and this is what I love about Al-Maghrib, the fact that you guys care about, making something attractive to a student in terms of it being light, easy, welcoming, fun. So until we have more of a mentality of learning and teaching like this, we will see that we have, a lot of hurdles in terms of getting a message to people.
Yeah.
In terms of getting people to be attracted to learning about Islam. Everybody's afraid. That's the big thing. Like the youth of today, the new Muslims of today, the current generation of older people today, they all think that, Islam is such a serious religion, and in order for me to learn, I got to sit down and become a monk, but that's not how it is.
Let's walk over to the glassboard. I was hoping that you can kind of share some of the stuff that you found. The way that we're at now is different than the way we started. And I was hoping, what were the things that helped you ease into this?
One word.
Yeah.
Simplifying.
Okay.
I literally, subhanAllah, the first day, like when I left from here, I felt very, I don't want to say discouraged, but I was worried. Like, man, how am I going to record a whole series and I have a mind block the way that I had? And again, thanks to your advice, which is why I think we should do half the course me, half the course him, but Allahu A'lam. The biggest thing was taking the advice of making things as simple as possible.
Okay.
I'm a kind of person that if I teach, and I mentioned to these guys before, but if I teach and there's a lot of things in my mind, I don't know where to go, when to stop, where to start. But when things are simplified, it makes it easier to just get yourself focused on the board or whatever focal point that you have deliver a message and you're not worried about how long or short it is. You're worried about, did I get my point across? Does the student understand?
Now, I noticed when you were presenting initially, right? Like I would say the first 3 to 4 videos, or 3 to 4 weeks of content, I would say halfway of what we did today. Your biggest hurdle, I don't know what happened, but the positive change was you stopping in the middle,
Yeah.
right? What was it that got you to continue flowing?
I stopped thinking.
Okay.
So the biggest hurdle,
I just turned off my brain.
the biggest hurdle was that I was in the middle of a thought thinking.
Okay.
So I'm trying to, put a thought onto the board, and then in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound right. You need to change it. Or you could say it better, or you messed up, or your pronunciation was weird. So all those thoughts, I kind of had to shut them off in order to be able to just, again, get what needs to be put on the board. And if we have to reshoot it, we reshoot it.
Okay. So it just kind of took the pressure off?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. All right, guys. You got it. You got your advice here from one of our now veteran instructors. And
Soon, one day, inshallah.
And so any future folks that are coming on board, I'm hoping that these tips will be necessary, because these are things that I can't anticipate. Like there's certain things that kind of come easy to me, which is just talking like this, right? And in terms of being able to present, and like that's a forte of mine. That's also my professional background in terms of sales and things like that. However, most instructors are not that. And so coming to understand the challenges that a instructor might have in presenting in an isolated space that is this, because they're like, imagine this, like they're here, they're looking at themselves, they're seeing their reflection the entire time. They're barely being able to see me, which is right there, those 2 camera lenses on the other side. And so as a result, it can be very isolating. And so, and make it like Sufyan, having Sufyan here is very helpful. Sufyan, where are you at? He's back there somewhere. So I was saying having Sufyan in the room is also helpful, because when I'm behind the black over there, if you're standing here by yourself, you feel alone and isolated. But when you got another individual in the space who's helping clean up the board, or maybe even giving some feedback, or just energy of presence is also helpful. So what?
Good energy.
Yeah, great energy. So that's it, guys. Today's a wrap, and I'm gonna go to the gym. Assalamu alaikum.